Good morning, it's Sunday. I feel like garbage. It's been several days, and I think the house is just steadily becoming like, I want to say an incubation chamber. Is that right? Just everyone is full of germs and no one feels well. The beginning of last week, Ella always tests lateral flow. Noisy. Ella always does lateral flow tests for school, and she tested positive, the faintest of lines. She did a couple of tests and she was positive, so I kept her off school. We ordered a PCR. The PCR test never came back, so I did another one. And yesterday I sent another one. So we don't really know whether or not she actually tested positive, because obviously lateral flow tests are not that accurate. But Milo hasn't been well for a couple of weeks. He's just not been right. He had a really bad temperature. He had stomach pains. And I called the doctors a few weeks ago and they said, could you get him to do some lateral flow tests? So we did. Everything was negative. And he seemed to be getting better. And when Ella tested positive, I felt terrible because I thought, oh my God, I've sent Milo to school for a week thinking he was fine, when he wasn't, because clearly that's what this is. Anyway, he tested negative again on the lateral flow. He's done a lateral flow practically every day and continues to test negative. So I don't even know if I can trust this test anymore. But I kept him off school anyway because he wasn't well, but also just, you can't be too careful. And now I am feeling worse and worse and worse. I was like headachy, earache and stuff at the beginning of the week. I've had a headache for a week that I can't get rid of, which is annoying. But the thing that's now bothering me is it's like all in my ears, it's all sore throat. I'm like, ugh. And again, I've tested negative all week, but I feel like now maybe I should have just got everyone PCRs. Anyway, I sent off for a PCR test for Milo as well, which came yesterday. And I think I can send that today. I need to find a priority post box that's open on a Sunday. I just keep thinking, I can't believe we've managed to last this long into a pandemic without having to deal with this. It's crazy. Also, by the way, this coffee is really, really good. I had a question the other day when I posted something about my mocha pot, about whether or not I found that it brewed coffee too weak. And I would say that if you're having that problem, it's probably the coffee grounds that you're using. You're either not filling up the chamber, because this little thing, the top part, I fill this up all the way. But I also go out of my way to find the coffee that is the highest strength. So like a 5 or a 6 is usually the number that I'm looking for. Because I don't use a tremendous amount of coffee, I use it to make like a latte. So it's probably like, I use more coffee than a latte. Macchiato, perhaps. I probably have like a third of my cup coffee and the rest milk. But the strength of your coffee is going to be based on the actual coffee that you use. In other news, Ella's passport arrived, so we can leave the country if we don't have COVID. So that's great. And I sorted out all the esters and stuff. But Lee pointed out that there were some stories online that were like, well, we don't know what day it is in November yet. We've not actually had confirmation that the US is opening the borders. I'm hoping that it's just people making stories for the sake of, did you hear Milo's coughing there? I'm hoping people are just making stories for the sake of clicking. So like, we know people are searching constantly for more information about the UK-US corridor. And I'm hoping that they're just using this speculation of literally we don't know to making like fear-mongering stuff and articles so that it seems like they've got new information, but they haven't. Manny's just popped his head in. He looks terrified. He's like, I need to see my daddy. My daddy is outside. Lee works out in the shed. He's gonna be like, Daddy, I need to see you. Also feels weirdly fated, this illness, because I was considering vlogging all the way through from September and just continuing, because I was really enjoying it. And then obviously I thought I'd just take a couple of days break. And then I just felt so rubbish. And now I feel like it was like an enforced break. 'Twas an enforced break. But as soon as I feel well again, I'm gonna up the vlogs, because I just kind of miss it. Like I said last month, it feels like you're checking in with someone every day. It feels like a social interaction that we're missing because we're working from home. And I miss it, I do. I have a lot more free time. I've been playing Civilization on the iPad. And, launching mugs. In case you missed it, the mugs launched this weekend, but only for this weekend. I discovered that my supplier was putting up their prices in the middle of October, and my plan was to launch them on the 1st of November, but I thought I'm going to wait and see how it all kind of washes out, because the prices may need to be higher than I'd originally planned. So I thought what I would do is put out a little mini launch this past weekend, just to kind of gauge how the whole thing works, because this is all brand new to me. And in the end, I need another straw now. In the end, I think it will have been a great thing, because I've just done like a very, very small, limited run over the past 2 days, and it's going to give me an indication of when you receive them, how you receive them, if people are happy with them, how the customer service works from my perspective, because I'm your customer service. And kind of just iron out any kinks until the full launch in November. I'm also considering making a third design, so I'll show you quickly the two that will be available. They're not for sale right now, they'll be back on the 1st. So these are the two that I did initially. Now they are slightly different. They're not as they seem. This one comes in green as well. So this is all my illustration of the little Lego people, if you remember from our Vlogmas intro. And there's so much detail that he's probably going to be lost, but there's things in the windows. It's all around the mug, which then takes you to the back of the mug there. I'm really, really happy with them. And then this one, which felt a little bit less Vlogmas specific, and if I'm completely honest, I'm leaning towards this. I really do enjoy it. And this is a double-sided mug. Not only for people who want 2 mugs in one, but for left-handed people, because I got a lot of feedback when I was talking about mugs from people who are left-handed, who are annoyed that the logos or that the designs are only on one side. So both mugs have got designs all the way around, but this one is like a double-sided. I think if I was going to do a third design, I suppose, I may make it more like this one, like another fun one like this with 2 different options. I actually decided to post this on a Sunday, so the mugs will still be available till midnight. And then the 1st of November. It's been a fun weekend. It's been later nights than I should have had, when I probably should have been getting a little bit more sleep, but I thought I'm going to finish the vlog and edit it and upload it today, mostly so that I can go back downstairs and get under a blanket and play more Civilization on the iPad.